DOJ. You've still got the lovebirds working for the FBI. You've got Bruce Orr, whose wife worked for Fusion GPS. He's still employed. Rod Rosenstein, I'm not a fan of his at all. Mueller's got nothing but Trump-hating partisan Democrats on his team. And Jeff Sessions won't appoint a second special counsel, won't seem to take control of his department. I mean, he gave away the biggest issues that he would be addressing when he recused himself from the, quote, Russia investigation. I don't know what the problem is with him. I don't know if they have something on him as far as, influencing him or intimidating him in some way. I don't know if he's just not strong enough for the position. I don't know what his problem is, but it's just been a big disappointment. Man,
I'm so glad you said that, because we ask everyone that comes on the political who are political writers about that, and almost to a person, that's their opinion that Sessions has been a big letdown. How about Michael Horowitz? His report's going to be coming out next month, we believe, and of course, phase 2 of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence is coming out, or is in progress. You see Horowitz's report making any impact or having any impact next month?
I'm hopeful. I mean, I hear about it a lot, but he is a longtime member of the Justice Department. I'm hopeful that we really do get some truthful information about the bias and corruption that's been going on. I just worry that maybe we're getting our expectations a little bit too high. We're expecting too much from this, bureaucrat within the Justice Department. So I don't know. I hope it's a bombshell. I hope it'll lead to heads rolling. Something's got to be able to lead to someone being fired in government. I mean, the guy who was head of the IRS and they did all that targeting of conservatives, he was never fired. We'd have nobody fired here. We did have some resignations that I guess were forced of Andrew McCabe and some others, but I'd love to see Jeff Sessions or someone come forward and say, you know what? Because of what they did, they neglected their duty. They violated our ethics and our rules. These people are being fired. And that would be, to me, a great day for justice. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen with Jeff Sessions. So
yeah, exactly. Do you remain hopeful that we'll see perp walks for people such as Hillary Clinton at that level, or do you think it's going to remain at the lower rungs, if it ever happens?
I don't think we'll ever see a Hillary Clinton perp walk. I don't think we'll ever see some of these big fish being, hauled before a court, charged. James Comey. I mean, talk about a guy who's, I think been engaged in very questionable behavior and should be investigated. He's now going to be making millions on this book that is coming out, claiming that he's Mr. Integrity. The media, of course, is going to be eating it up. They're going to be championing him as some great hero when I think his behavior was completely unethical. And I think he's got a lot of questions that he should be answering. He should be up on Capitol Hill. They should be really asking him some tough questions. But you know what? The Republicans never do a good job of bringing somebody before Capitol Hill and exposing the corruption and asking the tough questions. Democrats are always better at televised hearings than Republicans are. So they've sort of dropped the ball, many times. So I don't know if they'll bring him back or not. But when they brought him back a few months ago, I was very disappointed in the hearings.
Yeah, I too share that sentiment as well. You have a book, America's Last Chance, correct?
Yes.
All right. Amazon, people can get that on Amazon?
Yes, or my website, which is my name, Jeff Crouere, and that's CROUERE.com, so they can get it there as well.
Fantastic. And, of course, your radio programs. It's in the program description on our show. Jeff, you're a fantastic writer. You're a great talk show host. Would you come back with us at some future point and continue this discussion?
I'd love to. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully thank you.
All right. And, folks, follow Jeff on Twitter. It's in the linked in the program description, but it's at Jeff Crouere on Twitter. as well, and visit his websites. He writes for townhall.com. Of course, his website
RingsidePolitics.com.
and RingsidePolitics.com, as well as his own website. His book, America's Last Chance. Get yourself a copy. Follow on Twitter again. And hey, folks, don't forget about the Occupy 2018 conference. We're going to be right back. Stay with us. Network break.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of the Hagmann Report. We have a great guest lined up for you. Next, Kimberly Morin is going to be joining us. She's a Second Amendment advocate from New Hampshire, and we're going to talk about a number of things from the passing of a concealed carry legislation in New Hampshire last year to the gun debate that we see in the media right now. And we're waiting to bring her. We'll be bringing her on in just a second. There is just a few pieces of news I want to hit to. There was an interesting press conference given by the Fed today. And I did not see the press conference, but I've been reading about it a little bit here and there. And somebody said that the chairman of the Fed talked about possibly wanting to put trackers in every dollar bill that is out there. And I did not see that for myself, but there's an article on Drudge that deals with this. The Federal Reserve sees economy past full employment with only moderate wage gains. And they're talking about if they're going to raise interest rates, how many times do they want to raise interest rates this year, the stock market volatility, and the policymakers at the Federal Reserve say they see an economy that may be past full employment, financial market prices that are high, and overall growth that continues to gather steam. And they say that these conditions are very good if they want to continue to raise interest rates. But what does that mean for everybody else? Again, don't forget, on the Hagmann Daily Show, we started this on Wednesday, and it will be each Wednesday. We have Stephen Menking joining us in the second half of Wednesdays to give us an economic update. So we have that. But I'm going to try to find that clip, and I will post it on Hagmann Report if I can find a quote of the Fed chief saying that they want to start putting chips in each dollar bill, because that's very interesting.
I guess I'm going to have to dig up all the dollar bills in my backyard and turn them over for.
Well, I think they mean
chipping.
New dollar bills. I don't think they can chip old ones.
No, I know. It's we are at that Orwellian point, aren't we? I've got to tell you, I don't know what that means. Okay, hey,
video.
Eric,
we have the guests. We need the video.
Oh, we need the video. Okay.
Yeah.
The hand signals back there. Now, that was not very nice, Eric. Speaking of hand signals, come on. Take it back.
Our guest is with us, Kimberly Morin from Massachusetts. She was stalked and received death threats for her activism in the Wisconsin union fight. What was that, 2014? Maybe a little bit sooner. Kimberly looked into buying a firearm in Massachusetts and discovered that most of her Second Amendment rights were shredded or non-existent.
She fled the state, as I would too. Who would want to live in a state like that? The state of confusion and denial.
Well, she went to New Hampshire.
There you go.
And she has been residing
live free
there
or die
ever since. Kimberly Morin, welcome to the Hagmann Report.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great to be had, actually. I'm not even sure what that means, but it's Friday. A mutual friend, Keith Hansen, want to give a shout out to him as well, and just welcome you to the Hagmann Report. Your column, why we can never have an honest discussion about mass shootings. That is your column, right?
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, or no, just 10 days ago, or less.
Yeah, not that long. A few days. Last week, maybe.
Yeah, last week. I'm sorry. I don't even know what day this is. So much for professionalism, right? Okay. Look, in the wake of the Parkland school shooting, and it seems like the same record over and over again. CNN, of course, is being CNN. Rolling Stone magazine refusing to call evil evil. You address all of this. What are we seeing play out today with respect to this, mass shooting?
This time it's worse, I think, than all the others. As usual, gun control addicts, within a minute of a shooting, dip their hands into the blood of the victims, which is why I used that particular photograph. And they wave it around with gun control. We have to stop firearms, and law-abiding gun owners are all murderers, and NRA, Republicans. And they go through a list of everyone who's to blame except for the killer. They don't blame the killer. And in the Florida case, there was lots of activity and things about this kid before it even happened. And they all dropped the ball on it. Yet everyone else gets blamed, and they want to use it to try to push gun control and take away our Second Amendment rights. And they never get to the root cause. They never want to talk about the root cause of why someone would actually be so evil to do something like this. And in the case of the Florida killer, we know now that he had a very long history of run-ins with the local cops, with the school authorities, and the FBI was warned about him. But yet somehow everyone else has to be blamed and punished for the actions of a psychopathic murderer. And the state's the one who dropped the ball on it.
A whole heck of a lot of people levels dropped the ball on this latest shooter and shooting. It's ridiculous. And I do like your chart in here, just to kind of go a step further. The number of guns in the United States has increased by 62% since 1994, yet gun homicide rate is down 49% since the year before, 1993. And it seems like the gun statistics, and of course you cite the National Institute for Justice. It just seems to me that the statistics show that we are actually safer than we were, or less violent than we were back in 1993 or the early 90s. Yet the argument's not anywhere near that. Go ahead.
The argument, well, their arguments aren't valid because they can't tell the truth ever. I mean, they don't even understand that an AR-15 is the same as works the same as a semi-automatic pistol. I mean, I know you guys have seen it. It's all over the place. All their lies and the different things that they say about firearms and law-abiding gun owners. But they can't use facts. How can you have an honest discussion with someone if they can't even use baseline facts? That's just, I live in New Hampshire and we passed constitutional carry last year. Maine has constitutional carry and Vermont has always had it. And we're the three of the safest states in the entire country. Always. So, saying that more strict gun laws are better clearly isn't a good correlation when we prove otherwise.
Kimberly, I don't know if you planned on coming on video, but we don't have your video feed. So
I am on video.
Okay.
Am I not? Wait, let me just double check.
You gotta. I think you have to.
Oh, I have to click it. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's okay.
You can.
This whole time I thought I was on video and I couldn't.
Well, see, now you can class up our video feed. That's good.
I'll try.
There you go. See, now it's classier. All right.
So we see that the FBI failed multiple times with this shooter. We see that the local law enforcement failed multiple times with the shooter. That we know that they were called to this kid's house over 39 times. They said 18 times in response to violence. The educational and disciplinary standards at the school, not educational, the disciplinary standards at the school were laxed and allowed this kid to bounce back and forth from the school for troubled kids, the alternative school, back to high school. And then the media tries to blame guns. What do you think what's with the FBI? They seem to be at a loss of credibility right now, from this phony Russia investigation to the corruption to not even being able to follow through on two tips that they got. One being very specific, saying that this kid was going to explode. He had a desire to kill people and was going to shoot up the school. What is causing the FBI to just be so terrible lately?
Well, it's not just lately. They had other mass shooters on their radar as well, and they dropped the ball. So what is their purpose? I mean, what exactly are they doing that they aren't following up on these things or doing what they need to be doing as their job? Their job is to protect and serve. Am I right? So I don't understand why they didn't follow protocol.
Okay.
Yeah, they never take accountability. They tried to blame. They said they couldn't get a warrant for the YouTube threat, or they couldn't track the YouTube threat, which is bogus. I mean, if I went on there and said certain
real
things,
name. Yeah.
And then they said the call screeners messed up the information, or the tip line people, and just can't apologize, can't say that they screwed up. And then, here we are with this media circus against guns. What do you think, if anything, is going to happen? And what do you also think about the NRA and the PR battle they're fighting today?
I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I've been fighting against, gun control for several years now, not as long as a lot of people. And And this time is a little bit different because not only are gun controllers blaming everyone else, but they're also